Growing up in Baltimore is one of the toughest things you can ever go through. You got violence everywhere you go. You got crime everywhere you go. You got drugs everywhere you go.
You know, to go through all this, then the reward was my own place. Oh, I was happy.
The alternative of a place like this is usually being stuck in a shelter with your children, sleeping in the car, sleeping on the street, sleeping in somebody's basement or on somebody's couch.
In 2016, I was living over East Baltimore, and at the beginning of the year, the house we was living next door to, the man set it on fire. So like the smoke inhalation was a problem. And then in the midst of that, the lady's lights got turned off and her ex-boyfriend came and shot the house up while I was at work and she was babysitting my children. She got hit by the bullet and my son was behind her.
When I first came here to Volunteers of America, I was homes with my children from 2016 to 2017. When CPS took my children, it hurt me. I lost them for a day, thank God. And I prayed and I said, God, just please give me my kids back. I will find a stable place to live.
Prayer House is a 35-room apartment building, and it houses mostly all families. We have 2 residents that are men with children. The rest are women with children. And they all came from shelters. They were referred by shelter here to Prayer House.
Because of him always being in the hospital for getting sick, or if he fall, or if he's in the nursing home, he wasn't always able to be in his own place. So the housing authority back in Annapolis decided to take the place back. That right there was the reason why, you know, I became homeless, because I had nowhere to go. But I mean, but my baby was strong. I know I'm strong, and I battled through it. And you know, 3-4 years later, now I'm in my own place.
I think my whole life changed when I lost my grandmother at 12. When I lost her, that was like the end for me. I looked for love in all the wrong places. And my first child's father, he was very abusive. And I left, I had to, because I watched my mother grow up getting hit on. And I don't want that same for my children. When I had my second child, me and her father, we knew each other since middle school, since Booker T. He got killed out Lansdowne. So I was a single mother again for the second time. And I didn't feel like I had any hope. I almost wanted to commit suicide so many times, as people have told me they didn't stand that my kids didn't stand a chance with me being their mother. I remember when I was homeless, I was walking up here with a friend, and I walked past this building, and I touched it. I said, I'm gonna live here one day. Well, right now I'm an author. I wrote a book called Crowned in the Spiritual Journey Guide. It's actually sharing my journey since I was a little girl. Talk about certain topics as domestic violence, not letting people control your emotions, learning how to let go of your past and moving forward, things like that. This was all stuff that I went through, you know, coming up. I'm only 29, but I've been through so much.
When I came, I was more so mad and angry. I was happy to know that my kids were okay, but I was mad and I was angry because this all happened while I was at work. Nobody called me and said anything. I came home from work and my kids weren't there. Nobody was allowed in the house. It was a crime scene. Nobody would tell me anything. So I was more so frustrated, like, where are my kids? What happened?
My goal is to work with trauma. So I feel like I am definitely in my element when I'm here working with them, because most of them come from a traumatic background. So I'm definitely pushing when we work together.
People first move to their own place, it usually takes them some time. But around my first summer here, which I believe was last year, that's when I actually felt like, you know, this was actually home. You know, I'm able to have somewhere to go. You know, my daughter can actually be comfortable. Having her own space as far as like her own bedroom, yeah, she was more excited than I was.
The connection between VOA Works, the program itself, and the Residential Reentry Center is unique in its sense that we are joined by location. The residents at the RRC have the opportunity to participate in the VOA Works program.
If you back down when stuff gets tough, you're gonna be back at square one and trying to face other challenges that life gonna have for you. So with that being said, that's what pushed me through it. I still haven't achieved what I got my goals, but it get better as time go along.
If it's something you're not into, then you may not have the highest level of focus. And that's likely directly tied to your success level.
But when you accept some help and with things that have resources that's in place for you, and you use them and they start to take shape in your life, you'll realize how much easier it is and how much better it makes your life to be. So